Hello and welcome to this overview guide for Shi Xie. And now I apologize, Chinese is not my language and I am not Chinese, so my pronunciation throughout this video is probably going to be awful, so I do apologize and hope not to offend anyone throughout this. He's a bit of an interesting character, which is why I've chosen to do him for the first video. First of hopefully many, if I can get at least 2 or 3 people to have a look at it. That knows I have an audience, and therefore I let all the power go to my head and I continue on from there. He's an interesting character. He's got Splendor as his unique resource alongside the tribute chests. Now, the tribute chests are really powerful. You get a lot of bonuses like -2 construction time, 15 replenishment from one of them, alongside 10 public order and 15% income all sources from another one, alongside big stat boosts, satisfaction boosts, and a few other little tricks and things you can get from them. And you can introduce and increase Splendor quite significantly with a lot of vassals who are your family members. So that's his unique resource and the tribute chests, and they're actually really powerful. So he's a little bit of a disappointment in terms of when he was released, because obviously he doesn't have unique units, which is, you know, a bit of a setback, but obviously we can get things like Onyx Dragons within the first 30 turns or so, which are going to be powerful units. We're not going to be utilizing them all that much throughout this campaign, though. We're going to mostly be focusing on generals. And of course he has the bonds of family, so the cost of marrying characters and adopting characters is quite cheap, and that's going to be quite significant throughout this playthrough. So this is just going to be a bit of an overview, give you a taste of him. And his trants are not correct. I believe his trants in-game are, I think he has scholarly. He has clever and brilliant as well. He currently has charitable and modest here, which he is neither charitable nor modest in-game. So they're casting dispersions on my man here, which is a bit of a shame. And we're going to be playing this on Legendary with timeless characters, because I've not yet come to terms with the idea of death, and battle time I have no limit as well. And of course advisor help, none of that interrupting me. Show AI movements, all that sort of stuff I imagine is pretty similar, and yeah, let's jump into it. Okie dokie, so his little info pack here, of course, mentions Splendor, adopt family members, yada yada yada. Mission issued, of course, is place our brother to an administrator post, and having a look at the items. We got pretty good items, so what we definitely need as Shi Xie is items. We need weapons, because we'll be relying heavily on generals for the first 10 turns or so. How I particularly like to play is I don't really use armies at the start. I particularly rely on generals, so that's going to be a big factor. So first thing we're going to do is, just because I can't stand having negative characters in the court, let's release him. Yep, don't need anyone else booted. So this is one of our sons. He's pretty annoyed. And we're going to give him the heavenly... no, not quite yet. Give him the sword later. We'll be giving him the sword at some point, because we need that. But what we're doing first of all is we're going to be exploiting the system here. And the reason we can do this is, if you look, cool little trick, more of an exploit, but if you do per turn payment, the first amount of your per turn payment is related to how much cash you have you'll make next turn. So you can offer as much as you can and get as much as you can in return from the Han Empire, for example. So we're going to get 733. So this is a terrible deal, as you can see. So we're going to be paying a total amount of 4,830 over the period of 10 turns.
Greetings.
But that's okay. We're not going to be doing this, because if you see now, we are at 0 per turn. So that's how much we're going to make next turn. However, we can still offer per turn 273. And the reason we can do this is because that's 10% of our total amount of cash we have at the time. So what we're going to do is, from all the vassal characters, so from not the actual people that the vassal masters, just from the vassal characters, we're going to buy all their cash and all their items.
May your fortunes multiply.
Using per turn payment. And this is significant,
bear fruit,
because we can do this with all the characters, and if you want to break the deal, all you need to do is declare war on the vassal master. And once you declare war on the vassal master on turn 1, all the deals you have with vassals go away, and you don't get treachery from them. If you do this beyond turn 1, I'm under the impression, can't remember if this is true, that you get the treachery. So you can do this all turn 1 on all the playthroughs with vassals and vassal masters. So you can actually do this with vassal masters as well. However, if they like you more, or I think it's related to the cash or the power of your faction, if that is higher than what it is of the actual vassal itself, they will break the vassalage, release the person who you declare war on with, and you'll still have the deals with the vassal master. So for example, we make per turn payments with Dongzhuo for whatever, and then we declared war on the Han Empire to break all our deals with Dongzhuo. It's not always implied that he will declare war on us back. He might just release the Han Empire from servitude. So that would kind of mess it all up. So we'll still have all our deals that we made with Dongzhuo, so we won't be able to do that. So that's a pretty sort of risky move, but that doesn't matter in this particular sort of moments. What we're going to be doing is just going to be using per turn payment to buy everything we can from all the vassals. So all their items, all their cash, all the deals we can to boost the relations with us, because the good thing about this is because we're going to be declaring war on the vassal master, all the relations we have with the vassals themselves are going to be still pretty high. So we can boost them to the maximum level, which is when the faces turn nice and dark green, or sort of that dark bluish green, so not this one, but when it goes over 150, so from 151 onwards, that's when they're most happy with this, and that's going to stay most of it as well. It degrades over time because the deals we have with them obviously are going to change, all these favourable deals stay with them, but it's the previous deals and all those sort of things stay with them for a good period of time as well. So the good news about that is, I'm just going to boost it a little bit more.
A proposal worthy of my
the good news about that is it relates to if they break their vassalage with Lubiao, for example. So you can see it's at 150 here and it's still not at its maximum level, so we're going to buy all our cash back. Oh, it's glitched out. Buy all our cash back from this guy here, and this is Sai Miao, who, interesting, is in the Red Cliffs film, if you know that sort of Dynasty Warrior-ish film from 10 years ago, the Chinese film. He's actually in that. He supports Cao Cao as one of the kind of the naval commanders that helps him out in the first and second films of those. So bad guy in real life. So we have no issues exploiting him whatsoever, and of course Lubiao doesn't like us, even though we're going towards 19%. He has past hostilities with us, so he doesn't like us, so I have no issue ripping off his vassals and declaring war on him on turn 1. So buy everything we can from all these characters. Hong Zhu as well. He's the guy who gets Sinjian killed as well. So again, probably historically not a great guy in terms of the historical ramifications of that, because obviously Sinjian, if you follow the history at all, as opposed to Three Kingdoms, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms book itself, Liu Bei in real life, you know, in the early sort of years in terms of the Yellow Turban Rebellion and the war against Dongzhuo, doesn't do all that much, but is sort of like touted to be one of the sort of the great heroes of that particular sort of time. But Sinjian, for example, is the actual real sort of great hero of it all. So he kind of gets lost in the spotlight, and is a lot younger as well. He actually dies at the age of, I think, about 35. So he's always depicted as an old man, and especially in this game as well, he's kind of got grey hair and looks a bit sort of withered. You know, this old kind of warrior figure. Oh, got the Art of War. So he's actually really young in real life, so you know, the Sun family dies young, so can relate to that. Except they die surrounded around friends. Assume most of us will just die alone. But that's alright, we'll exploit the vassals as much as we can, buy all their items, give some great items to our sons. Builder as well. Builder's always good. It's a, you know, little light green item, so it's a level 1 item. That's still a good item, you know, construction cost, especially if you're someone like me who can't stand waiting around for turns and likes to sort of exploit turns as much as possible. It's kind of funny actually in 3K, I like to maximize the turns as much as possible, but in other games like Shogun 2, for example, and Rome Total War and Medieval, you can kind of get a lot more patient because I think you can do a lot less, but in 3K you can do a lot more, so...
Enter freely, friend.
Yeah, a lot less patient, so I often rush buildings and, you know, like to boost construction time as much as possible and all those sort of things. But yeah, we're going to buy all these items. We actually got pretty good items because I think both of the items we can use on our sons as well. So unfortunately this little process takes a bit of time, but we're just going to buy everything we can from the Han Empire as well. And the good news is, because we're going to be declaring war on Dong Zhuo, that's good for us. He's obviously never going to affect us whatsoever because he's all the way up there. Liu Biao as well. I've never seen him in all the tests of this playthrough ever coming or being a threat whatsoever, so he won't really matter. All the threats are going to come from the Numman and all the people you're at war with currently, but they're not going to be an issue. We'll be able to take care of them pretty quickly. How much food can we get? So get a ridiculous amount of food as well, and we actually want to have this because we're going to be trading all the food we get to some of the Numman, especially this guy over here, so the Jingxi tribes, because they die on turn 1 to Mulu, so we're going to be trading all that food to them, get some additional items as well, get a little horse, oops, not do that. Yeah, so this is what we have to do, is trade one of these items. So we have to sort of downgrade our value. That's annoying. Downgrade our value because the Han Empire is quite rich at the start of the game, so our trade value is going to be worth quite a lot less, so that's right. He's got all these items that we can trade for. Oops. This will take a little bit of time, so I apologize for this. But this is what happens when you're trying to minimax your way through the game, is you have to do all these little trade deals to make as much money as you can out of the Han Empire. But again, they're AI, they get a lot of bonuses, a lot of hidden bonuses. You're the player, you have to use your smarts. Eventually, you know, technology is going to destroy us all anyway, so it's good to kind of get little victories as you can at this point in time, because it's not going to last forever, especially in sort of 60 years or so. The world's going to be different. You know, you kick a robot now and they're going to remember it and come back for revenge in the future. So the Han Empire, at the sort of the next editions of the game, oh, we shouldn't have done that one. The next editions of the game, just watch out, because they're going to be a lot more smarter. You know, not going to be sort of wasting all the ammunition trying to shoot your heroes and that sort of stuff. So exploit it while you can now. I can't imagine what the future's going to hold for Medieval 3, when the Pope's going to be declaring all sorts of excommunication wars and that sort of stuff. So scary things to come, in the future generation of these games.
Welcome, friend.
That's right, we'll deal with it at the moment. And again, get the small wins. Well, it's glitched out. We'll get the small wins when we can. That little glitch there is something a little bit interesting, but a good way to get rid of it is to, if you get stuck, you can make a regular per turns payment instead of having to cancel out of the screen, and then go back to the make your payments, request payments, and it sort of fixes it up. So there's a lot of little sort of glitchy sort of things still in the game, but that's right. It's a great game nonetheless, that's why we're playing it.
Glad to see you.
Almost done. Bought all the items there, yep. Let's see if Dong Zhuo's got anything good. He's really hard to trade with because his trade value, because he's got the Han Empire as a vassal, is huge, so his power is quite strong, so that makes it a little bit disruptive. But he's got nothing good, so it doesn't matter to us. Let's just check Liu Biao. He's got nothing we can probably buy anyway, because the trade value we get from him, because he's our enemy, is, well, not his enemy, but he doesn't like us, is not very high as well. So the good news about these guys is you'll be able to, don't worry about their items, so we're going to be able to buy their items from them later on, once they get destroyed. So what we're going to be doing is making our family members vassals where their land is, and they get their items in response. It's a bit of a weird system, but they sort of auto-generate their items again. So any items they have when they're destroyed, they will keep once you make your family members a vassal of those sort of regions. So little trick there, but we'll see that later on. So that's going to be 3 silver items to trade for his bow, so we can give away our robe of the Omen Maker. We'll be able to get that back at some point in time as well, because Samoke Can't get strategists, so food. Might give him 1 food, see if that makes the deal. Yep, cool, we can do that. We can live with giving him 1 food. He can't get strategists, so the robe of the Omen Maker is just going to sit in his pile of items, so we can buy that back at some point as well, so no loss for words there. And the Red Wind is his unique bow, so we're just going to take that from him at the start. Sort of like a similar, it's one of the better sort of bows in the game, but we're going to be utilizing it early on as well. We won't need it for the whole way through. We'll be able to get the Lord's Chest for most of our generals relatively early anyway. I don't need Mulu's Bell or anything like that. We can sort of pass on all these sort of items. The Merchant we can use, but we don't really need anything else. We might be able to buy this. 3, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Scholar's good.
This signals great things.
Ladies roll, see if she's got anything we like. Nah. Oh, these guys. Alright, so we can give them all our food, because we're going to be breaking deals with everyone anyway, so it won't really matter. We can see if we can get anything we like Foreman, for example. It's just a free little thing because, oh, that's not worth it. We just get cash. It's a free little thing because he's going to get destroyed anyway, so our food will just come back to us. So it's just free money. Yep, take that.
A kind and considered offer.
Okay, I think that's all the trade we need doing. Yep. Of course, if you want to do something really different, you can become the vassal of Dongshuo or cooperate with Lu Biao. Might actually be interesting to cooperate with him because it's going to expose you to a lot of extra vassals, so you can obviously buy a lot of characters, so you can buy Sinjian's Golden Seal, Imperial Seal, and a few little items like that. I don't know really what's going to happen with that. It might sort of wreck your game a little bit because all the local enemies you have are going to be less, not at war with you, so that might make it really difficult. So you can do it if you like, but I'm going to advise against it. So, first things first, going to make him our administrator, complete the mission. Bang. And construct a building. We can do that here. We're going to build the marketplace. And we're going to get rid of the school, don't need that. So we can build something else next turn. And he starts with reach. No, he doesn't. Never mind. Reach is allied.
It is joyous to see the land filled with life.
Okay, we're going to make him our general. Give him the axe. Give him armor. He starts as our Scholar of the Future Book of Changes, that's right. He starts as our heir, so we're going to utilize as much as we can to get him some good items. Give him the bow as well. Give you the swords, yep. Builder, because you're the admin. What else can you take?
As soldiers fall, the woods
You'll
bear
choose a
silent
prize.
witness.
And give him this. Give him armor as well. Don't need to give them the horses.
Resist corruption.
You
and
can
endure
stay like... Oh, that's right. We'll give him the bow. Because we're going to be using these. Because the first battle, we're going to get rid of all our troops. Take our troops as close as we can to here and fight this guy. First thing, and the only real threat is the cavalry and himself, but he's not much of a threat. So we'll be able to knock them out relatively quickly, so we're doing that quite quickly. Does he have any speed boosts? Oh, he does. So we'll give him the horse. You don't want to be slow when it comes to all these sort of generic characters, because their armor reduces their speed quite significantly, and same with the horses as well. So if they've got a little bit of a speed boost, that's going to be fine, because then they can usually just outrun normal cavalry. Because if you can't outrun cavalry, they get that little debuff called Stronger and Faster Enemy Nearby, and that's a huge morale negative which is not good, and that can end the life of a lot of your characters pretty quickly, so we're going to avoid that as much as we can.
Bend, do not break.
I'm going to recall him.
It is joyous to see the
Get
land
as close as we
filled
can.
with life.
He's going to declare, or he's going to attack us next turn. On the
Reject corruption.
the next turn, yep.
To battle!
He's going to attack us during the break, during the end of turn, so got to avoid that. How many? So we've got one assignment, so we're going to keep that for the set. Make him our Chancellor. Yeah. Hey. That's weird. You'd think he would get the little bonus. Guess not. So we'll give him the sword, probably... How much will you get? Yeah, we give it to him now. It's a good sword, so we want to utilize it in battle. Utilize it in battle. Give him the trade influence. It's alright that we don't have people to trade with now, because we'll be getting a lot of people to trade with pretty quickly. Just curious to see what she's got. So she's actually going to be our first vassal. And so as soon as we reach our second rank, so second marquise, we can... That's right, it's the buildings, then we get the item next turn.
Do not break.
We can make vassals in terms of, we can't create vassals through diplomacy, but we can make administrators, then grant them family independence as soon as we reach the second rank. So that's what we're going to be doing. What do you got for settlement administration? That's fine. So now we're going to declare war on Doldro.
And talk.
So this gets us War Khan Empire as well, who are going to be attacking
for victory.
across the river
What is the
in
agenda?
Kangwoo.
Victory requires guile, as well as might.
So all our deals are broken. We've got -8 food. We've got cash coming in. Salaries, yada yada yada. Nothing else we need to do, so let's end the turn. So Ying Xiao has attacked us, as we mentioned. So he's got his cav. He's got his strategist. I think she's the wife. No, maybe not, because she's got the same last name as one of the other guys of the river. She has fire arrows though, so we have to avoid them. Good for if we want to get them killed in the forest though, but he's got the 2 cav. No particular sort of threat, will be able to take care of them just with these 2 generals. He's the Masters of Ceremonies, which is a bit interesting. One of his sons actually usually starts as quite a high level, another level 4 character as well. I'm not sure if that's every playthrough, it might be someone he hires, but we'll have a look. Because after we end his life in this battle, we'll have to deal with that as well, so look out for that. But our 2 generals have weapons, they both have bows as well, so we're going to use those to focus down the cavalry, and then hopefully take care of everything else relatively short order. Now I'm just going to show the first battle, because the rest we'll be fighting during this playthrough are not all that complicated. They're just going to be with generals, usually just running down garrisons and any sort of weak enemies we can. No sort of major armies, there's no one that's a particular threat down this region except the Nutman, but we're not going to be fighting those. Probably in this, they usually attack after around sort of turn 10 or so. So hopefully we won't be able to show me with 3 generals kill a whole stack, which will take a while, but it's definitely doable. But she should have fire arrows. Let's have a look if... Yep, let's avoid those. Oh, there's all the cav. So we're gonna fire away at them. Charge them. It's evasion. And the trick to get rid of cav is to keep charging them. So they're already routing. That's pretty easy. And because we have the armor evasion as well, it's not going to be particularly hard to get rid of all these cav. So we'll focus these guys. They have terrible morale. Damage sustained already -23 and discouraged by ability, so they are not strong. So that's the good news about playing primarily with generals. is, it kind of is like Dynasty Warriors. So, a little bit of fun you can have. Maybe jewels, no. So, there's good news is the forest is going to be on fire. Got plenty of arrows left. You are going slow. What's happening here? That's something you do have to watch out for, is you can get blocked pretty easily. So I'm going to charge him. Has he got any items? No. So the interesting thing about the AI is they actually equipped their items at the end of their turn. So they'll do things like battles before they equipped items, which is pretty strange. Don't really know why they do that. So it's kind of beneficial to us because they're not going to equip items, at least this guy doesn't equip items until the end of his turn. So he's not going to have them, which is either good or bad depending on your perspective. We can actually just get him routed. We're going to make sure he routes distinctively though. We don't want him coming back, so we're going to damage his health as much as possible. Oh, he's got the final rush. Twit. Get rid of her. Of course, Wisdom of the River. Won't matter though. Actually it will matter because the cap's back. That's annoying. Ooh. This is a bit hairy. She's routing as well. Cab are gone. So it's actually beneficial to chase them down, so we'll do it if we can. Get the charge morale boost. And sustain. Whoa, this is not good. Yeah, so there's a lot of sort of negative boosts you can have to morale from fire arrows, even the generals, so something to watch out for. The battle's over though, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. But of course, the actual damage to the arrows. The damage to generals is really low from forest fire, so it's a lot more damaging to units because of course it's based on the per health of per unit. So for example, generals only have 1 bit of health, so even if it's sort of like damage, 1k damage over 20 seconds, that's not much compared to how much damage it does to units, because that affects exponentially their health as well, of course, which is the real sort of metric when it comes to morale, is the real metric when it comes to health too. So here we are, 219, take the income, get him back going. Yeah, pretty easy. So that's our only battle that we have on turn 1. So Confederated, so we get our food back obviously. Oh, Hongzhou got, what do you call it, autonomy from the Biao, so interesting. They're friends, always good. Uncle and nephew becoming friends. Who have we got? Officer. This guy, I like his name, interesting. Oh, it's funny, he deserted our enemy. And she is Hong Shu's wife. We'll be definitely adopting characters like her. The basic premise of this how to play Shi Xie is to... What are we going to build? State Workshop. No, this is different. Where are we getting food? The basic premise is you want to adopt as many women as you can. Not for, a mass harem of concubines. They're actually going to be your daughters. So we're going to be adopting as many women as we can. So when we have a lot more diplomatic options, we'll be able to pretty much buy all the best male characters we can across the map with all the women we've been adopting. But so we've got quite a lot of cash, so we can actually do it now. So we'll adopt her just to give a bit of a demonstration. Oh, that's funny. She's already got... Yeah, that's right, because she's the mother. So a little interesting tip to... Do you want to do it? Yeah, I'll show you how. If you want to get any of these characters in your court, you you recruit a character, and as long as they're not a member of your family, you can marry them to that character, and they will join your court. So you can get any character you like doing this method. However, because she is not a member of our family, in terms of she is, despite being adopted, she's not becoming a member of the Shi family. So she becomes a member of the Shi family. So she doesn't have that negative debuff that this guy will have. Not a member of the Shi family gets him a -10, but she will not have it. But these characters will not get it though. So I'm not sure if I really want to waste early cash to show it, but she will join our faction. And sometimes it's good because you can get, as you can see here, you can get the items of these characters. So you can look around for the characters you adopt, and if they have children, it's going to be useful because sometimes you can actually just get the items from them. So I'm not really sure what the metric is, because you can do it with, for example, Cao Song. So Cao Cao's father, you can actually adopt him or marry him into the family. No, if you adopt him, well, obviously you become Cao Cao's adopted grandfather, but also he gives you splendor, so which is a bit interesting. I haven't found out exactly if it works as such, but characters you adopt definitely give you splendor if you make them independent vassals, or characters you marry as well. So any spouses or adopted characters can give you splendor when they become independent, so something definitely to bear in mind. Everyone is annoyed, so we're going to get rid of him now, because just a little demonstration, and I like to keep sort of unity in the court as well, so despite demonstration we still need a degree of unity. So
Marching.
get nearby. Who do we want to get? Yeah, we'll get him out.
Unification requires discipline.
Get rid of the troops, don't need
I answer your
those.
request, my lord.
Nobody likes all these issues. That's alright. See if he fights us. Yeah, he will. So go into this battle. This is pretty much a rehash of the previous battle. I won't show this one because it's going to be nothing special. It's got actually a pretty interesting background. Huh. Yeah, it's heaps of satisfaction. Anyway, nothing. Oh, you can see they've equipped the items now. So he got 3 items and he's all equipped them. So this one here as well. So that's a little interesting tidbit. It's a kind of a bit of a negative element about the AI. They don't really help themselves in the first turn, but that's alright. I won't show this battle because obviously it's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to be doing the same as last time, but now I've got 3 generals instead of 2. Just going to be killing the cav, killing all them, and then avoiding the spearmen. Because if you charge into spearmen when they're braced, it dismounts you, and generals that are dismounted are pretty much useless, so never do that. So you pretty much take out all these, and the archers won't have fire arrows this time, so less of a threat. So take out all those characters before you take out the spearmen. So that's the end of the battle here. Nothing particularly special. Unfortunately, he died. So they're actually the wife. So she got annoyed and a big health boost. Killed most of the garrison as well. So not much of those left.
They have suffered enough. Serve the people.
Ooh, item or thunder. Disappointing. So
What do you wish, my lord?
we're gonna
I bid you welcome, my lord.
send
Cultivate
in.
patience.
Yeah, so good. So we can just delegate this one. So this ends her life because they can't retreat any further. Ends the garrison as well. He'll go into the town.
Our victory is proof of heaven's approval.
Level up. Nice.
Determination is rewarded.
No items, rivals, rivalry, yada yada. Oh, he didn't level up. It's annoying. Yep, so we
You
just
grant me a kindness in
don't need
calling.
him anymore. Take him back.
Marching! My lord,
Send you
I hope
further
all
along.
is well. Move as
to-
one.
Go to there. How many recruitments we got left? We've got 2. So get Lady Shi out. So we're going to do the movement trick. So if you haven't seen this before, the basic premise is if you recruit someone, you can't move them until the next turn, but you can recruit 2 generals, troops, and then either send them out of the army, send the second one out of the army as well. But as long as they're not in the same army as the first recruited person, they get movement speed. So it works very similar to, if you know, the movement speed glitch from Medieval and those sort of games as well. So it's something nice and persistent through the Total War sort of series. So nice little throwback there. Thanks 3K. for those little bonuses, we're going to send him on the assignment. We're going to upgrade this as well. This is useful to us. Of course, it gives more seasonal retinue deployments.
Embrace impulse.
So it'll give us 4.
Remain.
And going to get you out.
I shall not
So
wait.
nice and annoyed. Not very good. That's right. What weapon can we give you? Give you these guys. Give her the bow as well. So we can sort of, you know, jump the items between the characters. An extra 2, never hurt.
Your arrival is
I have to give her a title as well, otherwise she'll be annoyed at us further. Can we give you Senior Officer? He doesn't need a title actually, we can maybe get rid of it. Yeah, good. He's got very weird stats as well. He's elusive, clever, patient, quiet, careless, and cautious. So, kind of complicated. Complicated guy. Elusive, clever, patient, quiet, careless, cautious. They don't really seem to reflect a sane person all that well, but he's a pretty good character. I mean, you know, high expertise, high resolve, high-ish authority, same with resolve as well, and then high satisfaction. So he's interesting guy.
Like the forest. Numerous.
Use those.
Without cloud.
Those are administrators, so probably should have that. And what we should do is, was this 1 turn or 2 turns? 1 turn, so use that again because it'll be slightly cheaper while we're doing land development. Even if it's 2% cheaper, 2% is 2%. Now the garrison here on this one, yep, just archers and the like. So what we can do is send Lady Shi as far as we can this way.
Stay fixed.
Oh, what we got to do is get rid of these axes. Should have done that at the start. Because she gets the movement boost from being the fastest unit in the unit. So, little handy trick there. Always get rid of the slowest unit if you want to go a little bit further along. So I don't need to show this one as well. Very simple battle. Just kill the archers, kill them. Just don't fight them, engage combat. Just charge them as much as possible, avoid the towers. Take the center so it reduces their morale, and then go from there. So into that battle, pretty simple. Nothing really particularly difficult to watch out for. The towers are a little bit annoying on that map, so again I recommend to take the center victory point. It's not actually a victory point, but it removes that morale bonus that the troops get, so that's a 9 or 8 morale bonus that you get yourself. So alongside having the superiority of being faster, they're going to get that negative debuff as well, alongside when you charge in and those sort of things, so it keeps your morale pretty high. So of course Sentinel characters have pretty good morale, they're not like Vanguards, but any sort of garrison that has only those sort of, you know, pretty weak sort of characters in terms of nothing like G or spears, there you can just run them down one general. As long as they've got a decent weapon, they should be fine. It's nothing complicated. She should have got heroic victory. Yeah, good. So she got that little bonus. So I think we can take her down to just being a good order tendon. We're not going to fire her as of yet because that'll drop the satisfaction to quite low. So we can recall her, because this is who we want to keep going along. What we're going to do is we're going to send her more forward. Hopefully she doesn't get attacked by him next turn. Hopefully he can't go that far. And there's nothing else to do. See, they're never going to give us peace, so... Ooh, never resent it. So destruction is the only sort of recourse for them, so... That's their loss, our game. But yeah, moving on. Okay. Ying Xiao died, was succeeded by Ying Yi. Who have we got? This woman, who's a scout. Probably these are all spy characters, I imagine. Everyone's a spy. I wonder if she's a spy, actually. I never quite worked that out. I don't think she is. I don't think Hans 2 would start with a spy slot, but the AR are a little bit dodgy, so I'm not particularly sure on that front, so don't hold me accountable for that. I give no evidence to the contrary. So, let's edge her a little bit closer.
Avoid diversions.
We do the movement trick again, so we hire the characters we want to wipe them out. So I think he might be bit stronger. So the good news with when it's in a garrison battle is you don't have to wipe out all the troops, so this will just be one battle here. So that's the good news. The bad news is they're always going to have that morale boost, so we want a good army to be able to take care of this. So we'll get her.
Remain poised.
Right.
Steel for battle.
But we want to, so yeah, what we'll do is we'll rush this down, so 1,000, that's alright. Because we're going to be hiring a character over here, because that's going to be our next point of expansion, because as soon as we get second marquees, this will be our first vassal. So we're going to... Who else has got the bow?
With conviction and strike true.
It's got the second one, I think it's, yeah. So we'll get both the sentinels out. Sentinel, and then you, because he's got a good sword as well. If you, you can't wield that, so the bow, give you these bad boys. Yeah, everyone's decked out. Yeah, got that one. Reserves are obviously useless, but whatever. Just for... there we go. Give him a bit of resiliency. It's a bit of a nice little gift we can give him there. So let's start this battle. I will show this one, because this is going to be a little bit more sort of complicated. So hopefully you don't have as interesting sort of battle as we're going to have here, but this should be pretty relatively straightforward. Looking at their generic, bright young faces. Good on yous. Alright, so it's one of the battles. So it's obviously it's a spice market, so it's not as difficult as many of the other maps can be. So we want as much space as we can to work as possible. They're going to charge out and attack us, so that's what we want. We want space away from all the towers and to be able to do as much damage as we can to the units. Hopefully the cav just charge us. So I've put the people in the bow category separate from the rest, because I'm going to be focusing the archers on cavalry. I don't really want to work. So we'll get this battle going as quick as we can, hopefully not take too much longer.
Our comrade is under attack! Take heed, warriors!
See if anyone wants to duel. No, of course not. That'll be too easy. So the cav are the only threat. Once the cav are taken care of, there's nothing really that dangerous. As I mentioned before, the great bane of just playing with generals is spearmen, because they're difficult to deal with. Yeah, we'll just shoot them off. Difficult to deal with and dismount you, and if your general gets dismounted, they're effectively effectively useless. If they're unbreakable, they're quite useful because you can use them to pin down characters. Oh, good, got a little shot there from his bow. So it's good to see, as opposed to Shogun 2, which had the issue with horse archers is they couldn't fire backwards or fire on the move, so that was a big issue. But see, they can do the Parthian shot style, which I think most people would be more familiar from, you know, your Rome and your medieval Total Wars, which is, oh, it's a cool little animation like that, which is something more people would be familiar with and more comfortable towards seeing. So a pretty easy battle here, we just got to get them routed, and as long as they are nice and close to the map, they're scattered, so it should be fine. We don't have to deal with them any further as we did in the previous battles, where we had to deal with them again, because, you know, you can only, when it comes to cavalry, they're a little bit hard to wipe out in terms of the units. But in sieges, once they're gone, they're gone. And if you fight towards the back of the map, it's fairly unlikely that they're going to bounce back because they're going to go straight to the corner of the wall. So it's a good way if you have units that have scare or morale boosts, morale drops. For example, characters like Ma Chao, who are pretty easy to get scared because he's a vanguard, alongside having a good ability that drops morale. It's good to be able to get rid of enemy units quite quickly. This guy's taking quite a lot of damage here. So we've got to focus now.
At the ready. To attention.
Get rid of this pesky general. But as you can see here, there's no real major threat. They're only swordmen and archers. Archers are annoying, but the damage they deal is probably more to the morale of the player as opposed to the actual sort of damage to the generals. It takes a long time for archers to knock down generals, so no real great sort of issue there. Actually, when I first started playing the game was, you know, a few months ago now. I picked up the game during lockdown, Australian lockdown, so big fan, wouldn't recommend. But I had a lot of trouble dealing with generals at the start because I played Total War as I did closer to the other games in terms I would try to minimax my armies and get as much as I can bang for the buck sort of thing. Now in terms of if you're more familiar with the other games, you can get a lot of good use out of pretty weak units, but I think in this game the militia are definitely militia, they're not strong. As opposed to you can, you know, have fantastic Italian militia in Medieval 2, or in Rome, Medieval 2? Yeah, Medieval 2. Or the medieval game. And as opposed to the, you know, same with Ashigari and Shogun 2, they're always going to be useful. But in Three Kingdoms, militia are crap, so pretty much all militia across the board. I mean, you have to kill them, but they're not going to be particularly devastating. They're probably going to all route back to the base, so we're going to take care of these guys as quick as we can. Because if they go after you deal a certain amount of, you know, damage to the army where it sort of tips in your favour, they're going to start retreating back towards the centre, so that just means having to run in, take care of the towers and all that sort of stuff. So we don't want to do that, we just want to wipe them out as fast as we can. Because if we get rid of all these sort of people, all these troops, and there's no chance of them winning because he's a vanguard, so he's going to rout relatively quickly anyway, and he's a strategist, he'll rout anyway as well, and it'll end the battle. So it's sort of like a chain rout of sorts. Eventually they're all going to chain rout because of all the damage done. We'll see what the bonus looks like a little bit further on. But yeah, just keep running down the troops, nothing special here. The good thing about Romance Road is for generals, I mean, there is the speed debuff, I guess you get with exhaustion, but it doesn't affect morale or anything like that, so it's not that dangerous. I mean, it's still a big deal. I mean, you can see the massive difference you have in performance with fatigue immune generals and fatigue immune units. But when it really comes down to it, because most generals are going to be faster than all the units anyway, it's no particular sort of deal. Now we're going to run down as much as the units as we can because it's just free XP. We have the scholar, so 10% more. Why not? What's their morale like? 37 still. 17. It's annoying. I think if we dealt damage to the strategist, he might have routed, but that's alright. Take care of all these units. Nothing flash here. Nothing to see. Just some militia dying before our eyes, just witnessing a massacre. That's how it is. I mean, we're not one of the three kingdoms, we're a governor, so we have to be vigilant, press our issue, press our qualms that we have with the world, and if that involves massacres of unarmed prisoners, the Geneva Convention is a few thousand years off yet, so we can't be held accountable. I don't think there's going to be, Chang'an sort of war crimes commissions and those sort of things for a while, especially with Dongzhuo in power, so there's no one to hold us accountable. The good men of the Han, like your Liu Biaos and your Liu Beis, are not in power yet, enough to influence us, and one of them's already our enemy. The other will probably be our vassal, because he likes to vassalize himself to other people, which is a bit weird.
Ready! Strike them down!
To battle!
Let's end their lives. Actually, we won't end their lives, we just rout them.
The enemy warriors are running! Ha!
Because then it's a chance of capture them and all that sort of stuff.
Picture victory, and it will be yours.
Okay, so a bunch of cash we got from that. Let's occupy the settlement. And that's the end of Ling Xiao.
Right.
Or Ling Yi. And so she is this guy over here who can't see yet. I think she is his daughter or sister or something like that, so that's interesting. We haven't got any items, which is annoying. Some upgrades. We're not gonna use him as the heir anytime soon. Oh, will we? Because he doesn't have any background bonuses, but he's got the usual sort of interesting elements when it comes to, of course, being a... No, we won't use him as a commander. So commanders, of course, are going to be your best
I bid you welcome, my lord.
people when it comes to early game heirs, if you've got no one else good in your faction. So let's upgrade the spy support. Yep. Nothing else really to do here. We're going to keep this for most of the, at least for this part of the playthrough, it's going to be there, so that'll be fine. So, a lavish tribute, who are we giving it to? Ooh, we should have done that earlier, but it's alright. Mistakes are made. Oh, we had to use the bow though, so let's not be too negative on ourselves. What's the bonus though? Because if we don't get it at the end of now, mobilize troops. Campaign move, ooh, yeah, definitely need that. So we'll do that at the end of next turn, because it just saves another turn to have the Lord's Chest using. So who would get the bow? She's got that bow. You are gonna get the bow back. Yeah, nothing else to do. No diplomacy because we're at war with everyone near us, except for the Numman, but we can have a look, see if they've got any items that they've picked up. Oh, that's funny, she got the robe of the Omen Maker.
We feel honored.
See, Samoke would probably still have, yeah, he's got it, he's going to keep it for a while, so he's just keeping it sort of,
Honor is mine.
you know, on ice for us. He will probably declare a war on us relatively soon, but let's move on. Alright, Sinjian has met his untimely end by Hongzhu, which means we can't get Sunset unless we get there before turn. He's an interesting character. Enforcer of Morals. I know that word. That's alright. Build that. Get a bit of cash. This will be sort of transitioned in. Hopefully we get the tea house from Mulu, and he can keep this little one here. So we're going to make sure that we vassalize Mulu down the track, but it's not going to be now. We want to avoid combat with him. So we're going to work towards Onyx Dragons through the trade, through the reform. So Silk Road Expeditions is where we're going to go. Because, of course, the issue when it comes to further along when we want to recruit troops is we don't have anything good. So the Onyx Dragons is going to be our best bet because we do have access to a lot of good items. So we can make them a little bit more powerful with access to brilliant characters, because we're going to be recruiting and adopting a lot of characters. So anyone brilliant is going to come into the family and join the little Shi Xie. But moving along, we're going to movement trick ourselves a little bit closer here. Not going to use her so she can contribute to it. Get you.
The sword.
My lord?
Troops.
Oh, we need to do this. Give him the item. So you can see the next mission is expanding control. So it says for us to take over Gaoling, and we can do that relatively quickly. Just going to make sure. So the next three, so 1, 2, hopefully we're going to get second marquees after we take all them.
My blade is poised.
That's where I'll probably end the video, because it's pretty straightforward from that point onwards.
For the people.
Probably you three, yeah.
Restore authority.
Who's going to be our commander? And defending your own territory. And you've got nothing, so you are our commander.
Resist corruption and endure hardship.
Yep. Huh, I've already used 4. It's quick.
Serve integrity.
What we'll do is we'll send her out, see if we can get...
Stand.
Never yield. Ever forward.
Next turn.
Gather your strength.
Destroy corruption.
Nothing else to do here, moving on. So this guy has attacked us. This again. Same deal. He's a sentinel, so he's pretty level 4. Ooh, good items. Well, not great, but scholar. If we could get another scholar, little bonus. But same deal as the usual. Just run the troops down, take the cab out as first as you can, then kill the rest of these. And we might be able to get a duel with him actually. But I'll probably skip this battle. Going to be nothing interesting, so we'll see you at the end. So that's the end of that battle.
Faith was rewarded.
Pretty straightforward. Because we have Nature's Ally from our commander, it's a lot easier than otherwise it might be, because they are of course a Han faction, so they don't get bonuses from forests, or this is not Naman lands, but they don't get any of those sort of bonuses, so we're a lot faster than they are. We have that 25, I think it's 25% speed boost from Nature's Ally alongside the morale boost, so because they're all family and some of them are oath sworn as well, there's, we've got a huge amount of morale. He's unbreakable with the Heavenly Sword as well, and they've all got weapons. It really does emphasize that you need good weapons, well, at least you need some sort of weapons to be able to do this more successfully, so it's a pretty distinctive battle. They've only got 15 troops remaining. I made a conscious effort to hunt down the cavalry and leave them alive, just in case we capture them and then execute them for their items. Which again is a war crime, but the Geneva Convention is still thousands of years off, so it doesn't matter at this point. Any items? 6 secrets of teaching. I think that's the scholar one, isn't it? No. Oh well. Lady Shi's back. He has got a little bonus there. He's still our heir, so let's get rid of flexibility and then Is it Reach? Yeah.
Bend, do not break.
Three Kingdoms Reach. As opposed to Halo Reach, which I'm sure there's fans of out there. So a nice easy battle there.
For the people. Determination
Oh, we couldn't have done that.
Resist corruption and endure
Whoops.
hardship.
It's meant to
Focus your
meant to
aim.
divide those.
Honor your ideals.
It's an issue. Okay. So that was a silly one. So it's meant to split those troops up,
Thrust with
but that's
conviction
alright.
and strike true.
You might get a little
I
bit
shall
faster
not
on if
waver.
you don't do that.
Victory belongs to us.
So this will be a little delegate here.
When justice triumphs, revelry awaits.
No items, no items. More Oathsworns, more deaths. Another day in Han China.
My blade is poised. Ever forward.
So we'll recall all these guys, because we'll be summoning them again
Unify in one direction.
Contemplate all.
further along. What we might do, yeah, we'll hire her,
I bid you welcome, my lord.
because we'll be able to adopt her anyway. Yeah, that's okay. We'll hire her over here because this is going to be our next point of authority. Level 4. No, we won't hire her. We'll hire you.
To war!
Yeah, still one. That's alright. Get rid of the troops, and we'll keep her here, so that's just one less deployment we have to make next term. Lady Shi will take
Stand ready.
closer and closer. She's actually going to be our first person who gets independence from us, so... Ooh, 26 gold, that was lucky. So congratulations to her on her future independence, but that's not going to happen until we capture
Promote calm.
this side of its of territory. And the good thing is, we'll be able to buy the items that he's got, because she's going to get them.
Still to conserve spirit.
But nothing else to do this turn. Nope, nope, nope. Don't worry about this. None of this matters.
Wisdom.
The supplies won't matter. Moving on.
We shall wait.
So Mulu wants to trade our wooden dog for 38 gold, and of course we don't negotiate with savages, so no.
Your choice.
Okie dokie. Oh. Rebellion imminent. Attrition. Is he a bandit? Agent. Oh, he's brilliant. Ah, great. So he abandoned his former master, which was the man previously known as the guy we're currently fighting. So we'll be able to hire him, for sure. We actually don't really see a lot of brilliant characters this early, so
Conserve
bonus.
peace. Conserve energy.
Take her as close as we can. Have we annoyed anyone? Oh no, good. What do we want? He's got very weird skills. Turning the tide, that's right, yeah. That's a really good skill. That's always good. So we're not going to primarily use him as a strategist for a while. Even sort of the mid game, don't really use him. I'm not doing I'm doing timeless, so we're going to have him for a while unless we want to send him to the glue factory, which we might do if we get sort of sick of him. Yeah, that's not the sword you're meant to be having. Yeah, I'll give him this.
A lapping tide erodes stone.
And who are we going to have? You.
Persevere.
CEO of the garrison.
There is cunning in caution.
Got. So we want to use probably 2 of them here, and then the other
To
one
arms.
here.
We go to
Go
meet
as close
China's
as you can.
problems.
She'll be after with someone else. Oh, kill that easy enough. It's a little, what is it, lumberyard, so they're going to have spears, so we want someone effective. Probably her and him.
Unification requires
Yeah.
discipline.
Hopefully, no, we can't do it this turn, so we'll have to
Ready
peek forward,
yourselves.
a little bit longer the pain of forest fighting continues on. She will probably come out and attack us next turn. Where did she get Book of Changes from? That's alright.
To arms.
But the pain continues on
To attention!
for us. What do you start with? Stone Bulwark.
My lord, I hope all is well.
No,
I
she
am
would
here
be
to
the
serve,
commander.
my
But he's got Lord's Chest now, so he's going to be, obviously, he's going to get quite a bit of experience, so good little thing, good little bonus, but these guys should be able to
Cause is
wipe
just
this out pretty
enough.
easily.
How can I serve, my lord? Break their spirit!
And, of course, don't need to fight this one. It's going to be the same as every other unfortunate garrison massacre we've seen currently in this game, so see you at the end. So another battle where brave patriots were run down by vicious foreigners. Another atrocity, another day. But we get a salt mine, so bonus there.
It is ours by right.
Completes the mission.
Remain
Scoot her
resolute.
further along.
On the march.
So next turn we'll be after end his life as well.
What do
Before
you wish,
you-
my lord? I bid you
Nothing really
welcome,
to
my
see after the end of that. But this is, I'll show at the end. Can't spoil it all so quickly. Let's go tax exemption. It's because I don't want to deal with rebellions at the moment. Yep, nothing else to do. Moving on. Okay, Lady Zhurong has added other people to the fold. It's unfortunate. Mulu's declared war on this guy, which is a bit of a stretch, mate. You're not going through our lands because you're an Arman and you can't get things like military access. So you won't be doing that. No one new, no one interesting. Gan, or Golgan. Actually, I like his surplus markets is a great assignment, but I'm still not going to hire him. What we can do though, is while we're here, and we probably should have done this last time, but we will marry, no, we'll adopt her. Scout. Is she a decent heir? No, she's awful heir. We'll adopt her. Oh, that's funny. Zhang Fu. Who are you from? Oh, that's a mystery. Not sure whose kids they are. And we'll marry her to him. And the reason we can do this is because he's now a family member. So we've got another brilliant family member, because we're just great people. So cheap marriage. Good thing about little Shi Xie, or whatever his name is. I've already forgotten. But because she's now part of the family, we can keep one of them and make the other one a vassal. So
Persevere.
we'll do that shortly.
To battle!
Firstly, we'll end the lives of this faction, and as before, nothing particularly difficult to see here. There are going to be a lot more G that we have to deal with in the town itself, but that's alright. I'll warp to the end of the battle in a scene I've prepared earlier. Okay, end of that battle. Pretty straightforward, another sort of easy one, another unfortunate outcome for all the militia. This one's a little bit more tricky because there's quite a lot of G militia, so if you have trouble with dealing with G militia in terms of your generals get dismounted pretty often, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to make a video on it, how I use my generals to generally win these sort of battles that you're usually outnumbered in. So this is going to be the end of her.
In time, they will thank
And
us.
I'm a second Marquise, so fantastic. And that's good, because now we can... Oh, more characters. These are probably characters that ended from her faction, yeah. Him? No, we've already seen you. So just him, that's annoying because he's got one of the items, but he's a pretty good character actually. Corruption's always useful, he's a commander as well. Nothing else that affects factions though, so we're going to pass on him. But this will show us what is the next major step of... Sorry, just finessing. Of what we can do with this playthrough. So we're not going to take anyone back yet, but Lady Shi, or whatever her name is, we're going to give her the administrative position of here and then grant family independence. So she's still going to be married to us, and she's going to auto-generate characters, so characters that she adopts as well. If she adopts anyone good, we can marry them. I always get confused, she's just bright. We can marry them to people we have in the same way as we utilized here before, as we can marry her characters, but if they take on the Shi name, then I believe they are adopted, so we can get them back into our court as well. So it's a good way of sort of auto-generating characters, because if she has adopted people, we can get them as spies as well, and a few other sort of ways. You can obviously capture them battle, but I don't know why you'd be at war with her. But so she's our vassal now, and she is generating splendor from us. It's not going to show this turn, but it'll show next turn, so that's another 10 splendor per turn. And splendor is obviously our faction resource. We haven't been able to utilize it and show it much here, but it's very powerful. To go through all the tribute tests, actually. So you've got the commander chest, which is good for generals in an army. The lord's chest, which is the one we already have with our brother character. So that gives you character, experience, satisfaction, huge amount of attribute boosts, so very powerful. Industrialist chest, which is construction time -2, 15 in replenishment as well. Economist chest, 10 to public order, 15 to all sources for local commanderies. So that means if you add as many generals as you like in a commandery as you can, all these effects stack. So there's a few other local commandery skills that you can get. I think some items do as well, but the tribute chests are the most effective way of doing this. So you can have 6 characters in a commandery if you like, or with construction time, or with replenishment. Of course, replenishment caps at 50%. Construction time, you're going to cap it pretty quickly anyway. But you can have every building only take 1 turn. But the economist chest is the big late game one. So the public order, of course, is pretty easy, but the 15% to income to all sources, so we're going to get heaps of characters as this game goes further along. You won't be able to see it here because we'll probably end this one pretty soon, probably next turn, but it'll boost hugely how much you can get. So that's 1 vassal, so we can probably recall all these guys. We're going to get 2 vassals, so she... Are we using her still? Yeah, we are.
Restore authority.
That's alright, we'll...
Draw the many
Alright.
together as a whole.
So we'll recruit
Poised to
him.
strike.
We've got to fight this next battle. So what we'll do is we'll hold off on that bit. We'll just fight this battle.
Lead with strength.
And I'll see you guys just after I set it up. Give all them the items, make them more effective. She's going to be leaving our faction anyway, so it's not really going to matter all that much. So this is just going to be a quick battle, but will end the life of this faction here.
For China.
And obviously I'm not going to show this one, I'm just going to skip to the end, but then we'll go through the last stages of this guide. Okay,
All plans are coming to pass.
end of this battle. Any items? Ugh.
It will prosper
Rubbish.
for the better under my rule.
They're definitely not the A-team, so that was not too difficult, but craftsman, get out of here.
Meditate on
But it was definitely doable.
prepare for
So this is actually a good commandery in terms of you get pretty good cash per turn from the Iron Mine, both those factors there. But I prefer Splendor. I'm a Splendor guy, so even though we're going to be getting rid of you, you can make sure you get the right skills.
My lord, I answer your request.
So we're not going to be getting rid of her in terms of we don't need to recall her, because we're going to make her administrator for what's this one? Huput. And then grant her family independence. And we can do it for Garling as well, but we might wait till we get another character to be able to use, because it just gives us the ability to recruit people closer to this guy over here who we can declare war on next. I mean, you got a few options where you want to expand to, so I would mostly recommend, depends if the Nan Man declare war on you. If the Nan Man, if Mulu for example declares war on you, which he will eventually, you have to deal with that. So what I recommend doing with him is you just send 2 armies, so 1 each direction, and because you can vassalize Mulu when he loses all his territory, don't engage his main army. He has his main army stationed here, so he will come down here. So you have 2 generals, probably those who have the most amount of movement speed. I think none of ours have reach at the moment, so it won't really matter. Have them stationed around here in an ambush. He'll run by and try to take care of here, and then you just make sure you capture both these territories. He'll run back after you've taken this territory here from another army coming this way, so you have to fight the battle here, and then make sure you take both territories. You'll be able to vassalize him, and then you have a powerful Nanman vassal, which you can use to get him to confederate all the vassals around here. So good little tip. For once, can we do it now? Yeah, we'll do it now. So we're now 2nd Marquis, this rank here, so we can not create vassals in terms of with the diplomacy, but we can make coalitions and we can make vassals through that command there. So we might, he's our brilliant, isn't he? Yeah, so we won't do that. Yeah, we'll wait till we get more characters, so we'll keep Garling for the moment.
Persevere.
Recall all these guys.
Do you have orders for me, my lord?
So we'll skip through to 1 more turn just to show where we're going with all this. Get some more splendor through having people in command position on the council. No one good. So we can trade now with all our vassals.
a pleasure.
And as you will see, we can give her guarantee of autonomy, and the reason we want to do this is we're not going to be ever annexing her anyway. If we're going to annex her, it's usually when the vassals become quite powerful or they have characters we like, so we're never going to be doing anything. So we guarantee her autonomy, and the reason we do this is that means that she can never be annexed. Oh, that's funny, she doesn't have items. Maybe it was last turn that we did it. But they usually get the items of the characters they take the place of, so not in this instance. That's annoying. So what we're going to be doing, guaranteeing her autonomy, getting as much cash as we can from her, so exploiting our goodwill from the vassals. See how much we can get. What's the other option? Yeah, I think we get more this way. No, we don't. $7, $6. So a nice bit of cash, and we've got trade
Your
partners now. So
proposal
she
is
gives us
sound.
splendor, she gives us cash, and she's a trade partner. So form coalition. So that's with the guy over there. So that's so it's different. So it's someone different. Sorry. Trade with her as well.
Greetings.
Guarantee autonomy. These people are never gonna declare independence, so it won't matter. They've got no interest in items either. Which is disappointing because she's a new vassal. Nothing else we can get or want? No. So we guarantee her autonomy, get a bunch of cash from her. Pretty easy. We don't get a trade agreement with him, we're going to be declaring war on him pretty soon. If he forms a coalition with us, it might be useful. Because then we can just leave the coalition anyway.
A joy to see you.
See if he's got any items
Let
though.
us
Oh, we
speak
can
freely.
get marriage. Yeah, we'll do that. So this girl is going to be our next. It's a bit expensive, but we'll do it anyway. And she can be... Ooh, get rid of that.
Yes, we accept.
She can be our next administrator.
Remain poised.
There is cunning in
So we'll send her further towards her father, because she's going to ensure his destruction. And we'll send her as close as we can, because next turn we'll be have to make a move towards her. And we'll move towards
Thrust with conviction and strike true.
Hongwu. Oh, Hongwu. I have no idea how it's properly pronounced. Do we need to build anything? Yeah, I'll build that. Yeah, we'll build that. So we've got quite a bit of cash, obviously, because we don't have any armies at the start of the campaign, so we're saving quite a bit of cash. And we'll probably get an item to use, finally, from Splendor next turn, alongside showing just how much Splendor we have. That's interesting, she starts there. Huh. What do you know? Moving on. Okie dokie. Oh, another craftsman. 2 craftsmen, what a joke. This is not been our best game when it comes to items. We've had nothing good, nothing that useful. I'll be definitely complaining to management. No, we don't need any of those things at the moment. So let's make a move towards
Warriors, attend
this region over here. Where can we go? There we go.
with purpose. Unify
So
in
movement
one
trick
direction.
a little bit closer.
Deflect with shield, cleave with sword.
Movement trick even closer.
Ever up.
Because we've got plenty of
How can
deployments
I
to
serve,
use.
my lord?
Even closer.
Scaling of a mountain to reach awesome views.
So he,
I
yeah.
answer your request, my lord.
Let's get one more. What's the garrison? More G. Annoying.
The mightiest tree survives on its roots. No!
I am here to serve, my lord.
See if he can.
Your must rule.
Ooh, just can do it.
Harden your hearts.
Ooh, and it's a delegate as well. So our first delegate. first major delegate of the campaign. So big props to us, because this is going to be our final battle of this guide. So it's good to finish with the delegate. Very happy, very proud.
Those who oppose harmony
Beautiful,
must
all the experience. And treasure. Oh, all positivity.
For the people.
You can come... Oh, no, you can go there. No, you can't. Never mind. Why are you unhappy now? Is it because you don't have the craftsman? And you're a chancellor. You're just an unhappy guy in general. Okay, so we'll be able to... How?
Contemplate all.
Thrust with conviction. And
Keep her there for the moment.
Vent frustration.
Recall you.
Remain honest.
I would recall him if I can, but we can't, so that's fine. So probably we'll wait till next turn. Yeah, we'll do one final turn just to showcase more effectively. Once we get a chest, and we'll be able to do show what we're going to do in terms of dealing with this guy. So last final turn coming up after we finesse. Any spies? Oh, we do have spy. No, I don't really need it. So get rid of the tax exemption. No characters to use, that's fine. So last, final turn.
Take this in the spirit it is offered. A pleasing foundation to build upon.
We offer this in brotherhood.
So Mulu just declared war on our vassal, and this guy wants a non-aggression pact, and of course we're not doing that.
Very well.
Okay, so Mulu declared war on our vassal, which is good for us because it gives us an agenda of what we're doing next. He's going to take a few turns to attack us, so there's no real rush to defend ourselves against him. But we'll call our vassals against him. Oh, peace. Oh, that's right, because he attacked us.
Greetings!
Oh no, that's weird. Yeah, okay.
Excellent.
Everyone attack Mulu. Actually, we use our combined strength
You have made a cunning foe.
to get all the vassals riled up.
Welcome, friend.
Rile up the base to be politically relevant.
Remain supple.
So what we're going to do now to finish off in terms of where we expand to is going to be north, because if you take all these territories here, you can see Changsha just up here, so you'll be able to find Sinjian.
Men, do not break.
And Sinjian's going to be our sort of, what would the word be? Gateway into the next part of the campaign, because we're going to get the diplomat's chest. We're going to give it to our faction leader, because this gives 15 in all relations. So we're going to get these out of the way first, because every new character you encounter, that's funny. So he's scholarly, clever, and brilliant, and I think he had modest, scholarly, and something else in the maybe charitable in the art. But every new faction you encounter, of course, is going to have the 15% already, or the 15 already on it. Alongside, if you get another one, you add it to your heir as well. That's easy 30 plus. So everyone's going to start really good terms with us, and it's going to be the agenda of how most of the campaign goes forward from that point. Oh, shouldn't have recalled her. Wasn't meant to do that, but don't do that in your campaign. Do the right thing. Oh, that's funny. She's here as well. So you'll be able to recruit her, get the item if that happens in your campaign. Wow, everybody's got items now. Voice of Reason. Haven't seen him before. So a lot of characters, a lot of interesting characters, a lot of items. So you can look through those in your campaign. But yeah, make her another administrator, give her Gaoling, take this army across and kill your father-in-law.
Draw the many together as a whole.
So you won't be able to do it this turn, but you'll be able to do it next turn. So you land here, and then take care of him next turn. Move towards Onyx Dragons. Or trade agreements. You'll be able to use that trade agreement hopefully on one of your vassals. Nope, not yet. After we create another vassal, you have to go forward from there. But yeah, that's the end of the campaign. So effectively, just utilize as much Splendor as you can. So in all the territories that are going to be not that crucial when it comes towards achieving your goal of increasing your prestige, increasing your rank, and moving towards becoming a duke and an emperor. All you need to do is just make as much Splendor as you can, put the items on your characters, stack them as much as possible, starting with the construction items to really sort of boost how quickly your towns develop, alongside the income boosting items as well. So you can have as many characters as you like. I'll probably show a little bit of a clip at the end of this in terms of what a late game sort of campaign looks like if you continue on from this point. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this guide. He's a great character, Shi Xie. A really strong faction, probably an underrepresented faction. This was done on Legendary, no mods, nothing special. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.